there, welcome back to my channel. If you're following me on Instagram, you have seen this look posted, and if you're watching this right now, that means that this video was voted to be up as a tutorial on my channel right here. So I'm going to be walking you guys through how I got this look, what I used, and where to get it. Anyways, we're getting closer and closer to Halloween, and of course I'm just getting wilder and wilder with my looks. Definitely stepping into the paint world a lot more with my makeup looks, which I've been loving because it's just a whole new world for me, and I'm loving it. And it gives you a lot more room to be creative and use the rest of your body versus just using your face. So it's been really exciting and a lot of fun to create for you guys. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be breaking down how I did it, and hopefully a couple of you guys will recreate this look. If you do, make sure you tag me on Instagram. Every time you guys recreate one of my photos and tag me, I give you guys a shout out on my story, so please do that. Thank you to those who have been creating my looks and who have been tagging me. I really appreciate it. You guys look so beautiful, you guys are so talented, and I really appreciate your support. But anyways, y'all are here for a tutorial, so let's get into it. For this look, I'm going to be taking the Box of Crayons palette by the Crayon Case, and I'm going to be starting off with this red right here. I start off with just this eyeshadow, and I kind of just sketch out the brow. This isn't going to be all the products I used. It's not as dark as I'd like it to be, so I end up going in with the Murda Matte Red Lipstick, the red liquid lip from this line as well, so it's also from the Crayon Case. And I go in and I just define the brow a little bit more and just darken it up, and I do this just to make sure that we have 100% pigmentation on the brows, to make sure they're super red. After that, I'm taking a very pale concealer, so just whip out any of your palest foundation you could find. A white would work too, but I didn't want to do white because I've been doing a lot of white base for my looks lately, so I kind of wanted to switch it up and do like an off-white. So any really light foundation or concealer will do, and all you're doing is you're going to sketch out half of your face very pale, even especially covering the lips, because we want our lips to be a blank canvas for what we're about to put on. Of course, set all of that in place with the translucent powder. Next, I'm going to be going in with the same palette, taking the purple in the palette. We're going to pack on that purple as much as possible. Eventually, I do go in and spray my brush, if you guys were wondering. So for this part, feel free to really pack on that color as much as possible just on your lid. And from the lid, you're going to start to draw a cone above the eye and below. So with that, I take the opposite side of this brush, which is all it really is a flat, stiff brush. With this brush, you get a really strong pigmentation and a much more precise application. So that's how I did my clown eye cone situation. And the trick to this is to use your actual eye in the center of your own eye to find the center of your cone. So you got to make sure that the top cone matches exactly the cone that's going to go on the bottom half of the eye, because if one's going left and the other one's going right, it kind of ruins the illusion. So just use your own eye as a reference. Then I just took that same purple shadow and just kind of winged it out a little bit, kind of gave like a little point at the end right there. It's very simple, but the details count. I then go in and kind of shade the bottom of the eye, and don't mind my sister, she just came in. And by the way, you guys, she actually helped me design this. If you guys didn't know, we actually sat down and talked about this look, so she's really concentrated, trying to see how it's going, just checking up on me. As you can see, she's very focused. But anyway, so we're going to be taking that same eyeshadow and dragging it down, straight down. You notice how I started off with one little line right in the center, and from that point I start to shade around it so that it matches perfectly to the top. Of course, you have to remember to line your eyes. You cannot be having no kind of skin color showing through. You want to look as evil and as Halloween as possible. And if you kind of see any of the pink rim from your eye, it kind of ruins the look in my opinion. So make sure you darken up the eyes as much as possible, and don't forget to tight line, because that's very important. You don't want any of your natural eyes showing through. And here I'm taking the Murda Matte lipstick from the same lipstick actually that I use on my eyebrow. I'm going to be applying that for my lipstick. And for this lip liner I'm using right now, that was a Kevin Aquan one. It was a gift, okay? You don't have to buy this specific lip pencil, because if I'm not mistaken it's kind of expensive, and why buy an expensive one when you can grab one from NYX? So any cranberry plum lip liner will do just fine because it's going to get covered anyways. I just use it as like a stencil for the lips. The next step, you're going to be taking the pink from the crayon case again, from the same palette, and we're just going to be stamping that on the side of the face, almost using it as like a contour. And then from the same palette, I'm going to grab the plum, I believe, or that dark kind of purpley-ish color you'll see right now, and I'm actually going to use this to define the face a little more. I wanted the face to look really structured, so I went ahead and took that dark plumish kind of shade and just ever so slightly added a little bit of that color right below that pink, just to make the face look a little more chiseled. And as you can see, I'm kind of connecting that darkish kind of plum to the mouth a little bit, so if you want to do that, go ahead. It just gives a little bit more of an illusion of like the lips being brought upward, so that's why I did it. And for highlight, also the crayon case, I'm going to be taking the Glow Cane. I've used this in so many of my like wild looks because it's just such a bright, vibrant highlighter, and I figured it would be perfect since it's a clown, it's white. I don't know, I just seemed like it would make sense. And moving on to the second half of the face, obviously I'm going to be taking this Black Bean, what is this? Jumbo Eye Pencil by NYX, and I'm going to be just stenciling out and then filling in where my skull eye is going to be. And guys, layering is key for this look. Make sure you take a very dark matte black and you set the whole eye in place. You want to make sure there's no bits of your natural skin peeking through, and you want to make sure it's super matte because it just makes it look more believable that way. Taking a dense brush, I'm just outlining my temples just to make it look more skull-like with the black eyeshadow that I was just using. Teeth, I'm taking the waterproof Glide On pencil that I used in the waterline, and I'm basically drawing little petals, so upward petals and downward petals across my lips, and then I'm extending that past my lips and a little bit, like about halfway onto my cheek, and then I just do some shading in between. So that's pretty much it for the teeth. And you got to make sure that the petals or the teeth are aligned with one another, so like the top tooth has to be exactly placed where the bottom tooth is at, if that makes any sense, because if they're a little crooked, it can throw the look off a little bit. What I just realized, they look like wishbones. I'm like watching the video right now and it looks like wishbones. So if that's helpful for you guys to help draw the teeth, try to draw like wishbones upside down and then upward. Maybe that'll help, I don't know. Where we work with the cheek area, I basically just feel where my cheekbone is at, underline my cheekbone, and then have that line lead right up above where your teeth are drawn, and then you're going to do another line going in the downward direction, and you're going to have the line finish off on the bottom portion of the teeth. As far as shading, all you have to do is fill in that gap with the black pencil and then take a fluffy brush, blend it out and down towards the teeth, and then take a brand new clean brush and really make sure that that color is super diffused and blended. You want that to be extremely seamless. Lastly, to add more character to this whole look, you're going to be shading around the eye to give it a little more dimension, as well as right up above where the eyebrow would be to make this skull look a little angrier.